Hello everybody, my name's Euphorya, and this is Elite Dangerous. So if you pay attention at all to the gaming world, you've probably heard of Elite Dangerous. It came out December 2014, made by Frontier Developments, and damn, it is a good game. So the too long didn't watch version of this video is if you like space, and you like spaceships, then you owe it to yourself to try out Elite Dangerous. It really is excellent. I love it. I really do. So, the rest of this video, I'll talk a little bit about why I like it so much, but, it's freaking good. So, I was initially kind of deterred. I haven't gotten on the boat, really. At the time of recording this video, the game came out about 6 months ago, and I kept an eye on it. I've never really played any kind of space simulation games, but it looked like it was kind of up my alley. If you follow my channel at all, you know that I do love me some sci-fi and some spaceships. But got some mediocre reviews, and it is a full $60 price tag game and stuff. So I'm always a little wary of buying into that kind of stuff. But last week, my time, so it was about 5 days ago, I purchased the game, and holy crap, I haven't been this excited about a game in a long time. Like, I think about it when I go to bed, I'm still thinking about it when I wake up in the morning. A game hasn't really pulled me in like this one in quite a long time, and in those 5 days, I have about 20 hours logged so far in this game, and oh my god, I'm still just excited as I was the first day I played it. So one thing that I really love about it is, I know this word gets thrown around a lot in gaming circles, but it's very immersive. It's a very immersive game, and it's kind of a loaded term, but just the menu system, the sounds, everything you do is just beautiful. So if I look around my cockpit a little bit, this game has full Oculus Rift support, so if you have any kind of VR headset, you can just kind of look around your cockpit. But we have, full view. And you can see our hands there. They actually kind of move when you move the joystick and all that stuff. And one thing I just love is the menu system. So if we want to look around, navigate to various places in this system, we can just look to our left here, and you get some missions and various contacts that you see hanging around. And if we look to our right here, you see kind of our character sheet, I guess you can say, which has our ship. Modules, all this stuff, and there's a lot of stuff you can do in customizing your ship, adding different modules. You can turn them on and off to save
Shields
power
offline.
here and there. Oh, there you go. Shields offline there. Set up your weapons, take a look at your cargo, all that stuff, and activate the various functions in your ship. If you want to be a smuggler, then you may use a silent running mode where you kind of shut down all the non-essential gear and all that stuff. So just the menu system, it just is so good. It keeps you feeling like you're just flying a ship, and I love that. I just love the feeling of flying around. So right now I'm in an Eagle, actually, and it's kind of the first tier of combat ships, I guess you can say.
Shields online.
Thank you. Yes, and it's a great little ship, but it's not that I can't upgrade. I have enough money to upgrade. I actually have a couple other ships kind of docked, laying around in various places. But I just like flying the Eagle. It's very nimble, nice and small. As you can see here, there's actually three kind of main types of jobs you can do, I guess you can say. Combat, trade, and exploring. There, I don't want to get too into detail about a lot of these different things, but I've been making most of my money via bounty hunting, and I'll show a little bit of pirate combat in this video. But right now, what I'd like to do is just give you a sense of the sound design. So I'm going to launch from the starboard port here and jump to another star system, and just listen to the sounds, listen to the engines and the jump drive, and just how everything sounds. The sound design is just wonderful in this game. It's beautiful. So here we go. Let's launch. So I'm not going to talk. Just listen to all the goodness.
increased. Engines engaged. Landing gear retracted.
Forgot to engage my destination there. Okay, should all be good now.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, one. Engage.
Alright, so everything just sounds goddamn amazing. So, there's kind of, I'll explain the two types of super or frameshift drive in a second here, but just amazing. I jumped to this star system, and let's take a look at the system map, shall we? So this is, I intentionally jumped to, you know, an unexplored type of system. So here we go. We have I jumped here. It's not necessarily unexplored. If you can see here, first discovered by Brabus. And this is another amazing selling point of the game, is the exploration aspect of it. And currently I'm saving up enough money to buy like a really good exploration ship. I've done a little bit of exploring here, but I'd like to get some better discovery scanners and stuff before I set out. So there's 40 billion stars, I suppose, I think is what I read, that you can go to in this game. So there's actually planets and stuff in the star system, and they've probably been discovered by other players, but I haven't found them yet. So there's many, many, many stars out of those 40 billion that no player has ever even been to. And let's take a look at the galaxy map here while we're at it. So here is kind of known space. Here's where we are in the Hercules sector, ZUI Bow. And if we zoom out here, I'll view, what do I want to do here? Yeah, well, let's do this. So this is kind of known space, I guess we can say. This whole area. So each one of these colors represents, you know, a different empire. It's control of influence. There's us. There's the Sol system. Here's where I am, up in this top right corner, because I, you know, kind of want to. I wanted to start my exploration venture, so I kind of went out to the edge. But this is all known space, okay? And there's tons and tons of stars in here. If you can see, like, just if you zoom in on this little space, each one of these blips is a star. There's a shit ton of them. And then if we zoom out, keep zooming out, okay, so here's known space. Here's a nebula called the Coalsack. We can actually fly to this nebula. And there's a ton of stars in between. And we can go into that nebula, but maybe we want to go further out, so we can actually go over to here, NGC 6357. And if I take a look at the map here, and come into this nebula, I'll click on a random star here. So look at all these stars. All right, so 8,188 light years away is this star is 8,000 light years away from my current position there. And the actual known space where a lot of players, you know, are playing is crazy small compared to just the vastness of this. You can go to any star in the galaxy, basically. You can even come all the way out to here to the other side of the galaxy. And you know, like a major kind of trip for explorers is going to the center of the galaxy and taking a look at the supermassive black hole that's you know, there. And that's, you know, kind of, you've really made it as an explorer if you've been to the center of the galaxy, I guess. But you know, there's just billions and billions of stars that no player has ever discovered or been to. And it's not like you're just going through black space either. The skyboxes change. If you're inside a nebula, like this nebula down here, or whatever that nebula is, you're your view actually, like the space around you is going to reflect that you're inside this nebula. So you'll see this nebula and all space changes, and there's just some amazing sights. So it's basically, you can take a tour of our galaxy, and everything is, you know, modeled after real-world astronomical data. So it's kind of like, it's a freaking spaceship simulator, and it's amazing. So I've done a couple expedition routes really close, you know, by to our system, just to see if I enjoy the exploration, you know, mechanics of looking around and stuff, and it is very fun. So another thing is just, this game is gigantic and it's amazing. And there's, you know, certain things. Power play is kind of like, you can be a combat pilot for one of these empires and, you know, fight and fly around and stuff, and that's also fun too. But just the hugeness of this place is crazy. So what I want to do, actually, now that we're here, is I'd like to get into some combat, because that's really what I've been doing in my time in this game for quite a long time. So let me go to a place where I usually kind of hunt for pirates. I've been a bounty hunter for most of my game time here, so let's head over there.
Frameshift drive charging.
So basically, this jump, you know, acts as kind of a loading screen, I guess, for all the different stars that you go to. And it just, you know, I've been looking at this jump screen for 20 hours.
Engage.
Alright, it's a little loud. And it's still just got a great impact every time jump happens. I feel, it just feels good. And I can't overstate enough just how much this game makes you feel like you're flying a spaceship. Now there are lots of different ships that you can fly. I'm currently flying the smallest ship because I like feeling like a fighter pilot. I mean, I've been playing for a while, so I do have some cash, and I can certainly upgrade to another combat ship, but I don't really feel like
drive charging.
going that far right now. I like the current ship loadout I have. Alright, so we'll jump over here, La Purida, if that's how you pronounce that.
4, 3,
and then we'll go kill some pirates.
1, engage.
Yeah, you can't really do anything while your frameshift drive is active here. So there's actually two types of light speed, I guess. There's this, which is crazy, crazy fast, where you're jumping between stars. And then there's this mode. If you can see my speed indicator there, right, kind of on the top of my radar bubble, it says 0.23 C. So that's, you know, 0.1 times the speed of light there. Here, what do I want to go here? I think I want to go to Perta 3 is where I want to head, in that direction. There's a nice area over here. So this is called Super Cruise, and this is kind of just you know, not crazy fast jump, but still pretty damn fast. As you can see, I'm accelerating here to like 4 times the speed of light, and I'm gonna keep going. So this is how you go, you know, change within system. So let's look at the system map while I'm flying out here. So this is an explored system, as you can see, and here's the sun, all the different planets that you can go to. Here's the various stations, and we're heading to this gas giant here, because this is, you know, a lot of resource extraction happens along these rings, and pirates like to hang out there. So again, these are NPC pirates, just to be clear. You can be a pirate in-game if you want to. I haven't run into many players, probably because I'm so far out in the galaxy. I primarily play in open play, which is kind of online, where you're in the universe with a lot of other players. There's also an option to play solo if you don't really care to, if you don't really want to deal with all the other players hanging around. Let's go to this high-intensity resource extraction site. Again, I don't want to like explain a lot of the mechanics here. I might do like a tutorial video maybe in the future, but for now, let's just go here. Another really neat thing is, you know, all the physics is very well simulated. So, when you get close to, you know, high gravity well bodies like this gas giant here, then things traveling at the speed of light, you can't go as fast. It's going to be harder for you to get up to fast speed. So when you're in the middle of space, you can easily get to like 100 times the speed of light. But now, if you can see here, my speed, I'm at like 5 megameters per second, and that's like 100,000 meters, maybe? I can't remember the whole metric here. But we want to come into this resource extraction site here and hunt some pirates. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, I was just looking down at what I got here. So it's very important I don't crash into this belt. There we go. Safe disengage. So now we'll get back down to, you know, normal combat speeds. And I believe this speed, you know, 100, is in meters per second. I've, you know, gotten a real feel for that. 245 meters per second seems reasonable for a spaceship, I guess. Especially like a, you know, fighter class spaceship. So there doesn't seem I don't have any contacts yet. Oh, there's one. So you see on my radar, you know, I'm starting to get some contacts here. So let's fly over there and see if we can, if they have a bounty on their head, basically. So I find this pretty fun. You know, a lot of people tend to say, actually, there's someone closer right behind us. So let's hang out with them. There we go. So we got someone there. Let's target him, check him out. Sidewinder, and he's clean. See, so in the bottom left there, you can see he's clean. So he has no bounties on him. So let me take a look at my contacts list here. So we found another Sidewinder. This probably is also going to be pretty useless. So let's take a look somewhere else. Let's take a look over here. There's also, you know, a lot of NPC miners that are just kind of hanging out around here. But pirates like to poach miners, so it's good to kind of hang out around here and to find some pirates that are not necessarily doing a good job. So if I take a look over here in my right, you see we got the 3 careers, basically: combat, trade, explorer. So you can be an explorer and check out uncharted territories, and that's kind of what I'm currently working towards a little bit here. I'd like to get a little bit more money before I get a full ship that I like. Here we go. This guy looks promising. Trading is... I haven't been very interested in trading because, okay. I traded a lot in EVE Online, and I just haven't been really into it, so I haven't done much training at all. Alright, so if you look in the bottom left, this guy is wanted, so I'm going to deploy my hard points real quick here. So all my weapons are out, and they actually, you know, pop out of your ship and stuff. It's all animated. Yeah, I don't have any cargo on my ship, so this guy scanned me. No cargo. You can see in the top left there. So what I want to do is pull out my kill warrant scanner. And this will scan him and see, you know, if he has any additional warrants. Because this wanted guide there just says he's wanted in this particular star system. But my kill warrant scanner will allow me to determine if he's wanted anywhere else. And if I look to my left here, you can see, there you go, Greg Greed. He has a 25,000 credit bounty on him, if you look in his loadout there. So that'll get us 25 grand if we can kill him and turn in the bounty. So let's attack this guy. So I'll head with my beams first. And he just turned hostile, so he's gonna want to attack us. So again, I'll kind of explain a lot of these mechanics a little bit in the future. But for now, just want to show you kind of killing pirates. So beam weapons are much better for taking down shields. So that's using my beams there. And then projectile weapons, like the cannon I have here, is much better for actually destroying hull, and if I can actually hit the...
Warning, incoming hatch break limpet.
Uh-oh. It doesn't matter.
Hatch break limpet avoided.
It's okay, because I don't have any cargo, so who cares? This cannon is terrible. I'm just trying out new weapons here. I usually use a multi-cannon, which is kind of like a Gatling gun, and that seems to be way more effective. But I'm having a hard time hitting this guy. I think I need to get in closer, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Good shit. Yeah.
Target shields online. Scan detected.
And
Target shields
we can blow them up. So one thing I love about the Eagle, the current ship I'm flying, is it's really easy to stay on someone's ass, which is basically all you want to do when you're in a dogfight. There you go.
Target destroyed.
Yeah, I think I'll switch back to a multi-cannon in the future there. But this seemed to work out pretty well. Alright, so if you looked on the top right there, I got a 25,000 credit bounty for killing this guy. Now, I could stay here, you know, hunt some more pirates. There's plenty laying around. And as you can see, now that I've started combat, some cops have actually come in to help me. Ooh, this guy looks promising. An asp is usually pretty good. Ah, he's cool, so whatever. Alright, but let's get out of here. I don't want to make this video too long.
Cannot comply.
So let's put away the weapons. Jump out of here.
Frameshift drive charging.
Alright. So the combat is really
4,
fun. The controls are
3,
really easy to understand.
2, 1. Engage.
I mean, I'm no expert at combat or anything in this game, but I'm not very skilled at combat in general in most games. But let's head to Youngring. Actually, let's head to Botch Vision. Okay. Over here. So, once we get far away enough from this gas giant, we'll be able to speed up and get there faster. Saying it's going to take me 9 hours to get to there, that's not true. But the combat's really easy to understand. I do recommend really being aware of your key bindings. I'll put... One thing that I really found helpful was changing my mouse orientation to control yaw instead of roll. So now if I move the mouse left and right, you see I yaw left and right, and I mapped like A and D to rolling, and it's a little bit easier to understand. You're going to be rolling a lot, so roll is kind of a pretty important button to map there. But overall, you know, I'm finding the combat really fun, and bounty hunting is very lucrative. 25,000, that's a very low bounty that I just got there. Usually bounties are around like the 80,000 range, I've found. Exploration, you know, if you're a fan of that, you can certainly do it. A lot of people, you know, on the forums and stuff say you should be a trader for like the first long time, basically, to kind of grind up to getting enough money to do what you want to do, but it's not necessary at all, I don't think. And I think that's one of the reasons the game gets a bad rap is it's kind of brought to you as a trading grind so that you can, you know, get a good ship. And it's just ridiculous. That's not true at all. So, you know, I did a little bit of trading just to test it out. And when I made, like, you know, my first kind of $100,000, I went straight in and bought this Eagle. It's a really cheap fighter, and it's very competent in any kind of, you know, combat role you want to put it in. So you can really get into whatever you want right off the bat. Even the beginning ship is acceptable, and for most things they want. Oh, someone's trying to interdict me. So someone's trying to pull me out of warp to grab me, and honestly, it's, in fact, let's just submit to him, actually. I almost beat him, but I just throttled down to submit to his interdiction here, just to see what he wants. Oh, I evaded it. Okay, great. That was, Anyway, you know, probably was an MTC, not another player, but people can poach you out of Super Cruise and, you know, fuck your day up. And I think also that's another thing with trading is you're kind of at the mercy of a lot of people. Whereas a combat ship, if you get the opportunity to get more combat, it's just extra. You know, it's great. And you know, the penalty for losing a ship is not very intense. If we look over here, let me actually pull this in first before I look over there, because we're getting close. But the penalty for losing ships are not insurmountable. You can certainly die. It's not like Eve, where I buy a new battleship and then get blown up, and then I'm set back for 10 hours of hell. But yeah, this game is accessible, and if you just do what you want to do right off the bat, instead of thinking of it like I have to grind money to get to where I need to go, then you'll have a much better time. I guarantee it. Yeah, there you go. Also, the community for this game is very good. I spent some time on the Elite Dangerous Reddit, and everyone's very nice and helpful. It does have a hell of a learning curve, this game. So, if you don't really feel like you have the time to learn kind of new mechanics, then maybe you shouldn't do it. I also highly recommend you learn or do all the tutorials. Seriously, do the tutorials. They teach you a lot of great stuff about just docking and the general kind of stuff that you need to do to survive in this game. So one major thing you need to do is I'm going to request docking here.
Docking request granted.
There you go. So I need to go in here and land in landing pad 19. If you don't request docking, then you get some pretty hefty fines, and sometimes can even get blown up, which is not something you want to have happen. Alright. I believe it's on this side.
Scan detected.
Maybe not. Alright, anyway, let me look over here, I'll come back to that. So you can see in the bottom left corner of this screen, there's my balance, and right under there is my rebuy cost, 25,000 credits. So if my ship ever gets destroyed, alright, I just went like the complete wrong way, unfortunately. I'm usually better at this, but trying to talk and be at the ship at the same time is kind of difficult. So the rebuy costs $25,000, so if I ever lose this ship, then 25 grand is how much it'll cost to rebuy everything in exactly the state that I have it in now. And that's nothing. As you can see, I killed one pirate, got one bounty, and that's basically 25,000 credits right there. So it's really easy to buy back, especially if you're flying cheap ships. Now, if you want to fly like a crazy expensive ship, then your rebuy cost is going to be a little more expensive. But overall, it's pretty forgiving, I think.
Warning, landing gear not deployed.
Alright. Also landing, could be a little difficult at first to understand, but I've gotten decent at it.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
So we'll enter the hangar. Check out our starport services here. Let's see, I'll refuel, reload my weapons here. And we want to go to contacts, and there you go. So I got my bounties, and I can redeem all my bounty vouchers here. 25 credits right there. 25,000 credits right there. And there you go, I'm paid. So that's kind of the gist of bounty hunting. If you're an explorer, you map systems, and then you go to this universal cartographics, and you can sold all the systems and stuff that you've mapped. If you're a trader, you come to the commodities market and buy low, sell high. That's the whole point of being a trader and whatnot. See, so mineral oil is in high demand here, so maybe you can find a place that produces mineral oil cheaply. And see, the galactic average there is 259 credits per unit. And right here in this station, we can sell that mineral oil for 327 per unit. So if you find a good trade route, you can make that happen. That is a very low. That is not a good example of a good trade. I do not trade mineral oil. It's not worth your time, unless you have a gigantic hull to hold a lot of cargo. Let's look at outfitting real quick. So here's my ship, and everything is presented very slick. It's a very slick presentation here. As you can see, all my weapons just kind of deployed from their hard points. Here's my eagle. There's my cannon. I'll probably change that because I didn't really like it compared to a multi-cannon. Got some beam lasers on the bottom here. Got my kill warrant scanner on my utility mount, so that's a good bounty hunter thing. And you can change all the internals, so you can get a higher quality power plant and thrusters, frame shift drive. That's like your hyperdrive and life support. All this stuff comes into play, and you can tweak your ships. And right now I have a pretty good power balance here, so deployed. I have plenty of power available. And so that's with all my hard points deployed. This is with all of them detracted my power draw. You can actually, go above your maximum available and turn off some of your systems while you're in combat and stuff. That's kind of an advanced level tactic. I don't know if I'm there yet. But there's a ton of customization for your ship. And if you want to, do paint jobs and stuff, Frontier, allows you to buy extra paint jobs and all that stuff. So, overall, my impressions of Elite Dangerous are, it's very good. I really enjoy it a lot. I love flying around, just in general. I love the combat. I love exploring. It's really fun to explore. And if you like space, you like that kind of stuff, it friggin' looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. So if you like space, you like spaceships, and you want something that really makes you feel like a spaceship pilot, then I'd highly recommend you play this game at some point. And it comes on sale fairly often. But honestly, I think $60 is probably a pretty fair price. Now there are a couple valid complaints given at the game. Is basically what you saw here is kind of what you get. This is like the extent of the game is trading, bounty hunting, and exploring, and that's kind of all there is in the game right now. Now Frontier is working on various expansion packs, and they have various free updates where they add a lot of new features, like the whole power play feature where you fight for different empires and stuff. That wasn't in the original release. So, you could say the game is a little bit incomplete, maybe. I still have a lot of fun with the game in its current state, and it has a lot of room to expand, and Frontier is really expanding the game a lot, in the future. They have a lot of planned expansions, such as, the ability to land on planets and explore around planets and walk around inside your spaceship, and lots of different things like that. So, keep that in mind. It has probably some room for improvement, but overall, I'm really having a lot of fun with it right now. So, thank you all so much for watching. If you love Elite Dangerous, then leave a comment to why you love it. If you hate Elite Dangerous, then also leave a comment to tell us why you don't like it. But I love it, and I hope this video gave you a chance to kind of see what it's all about, and get. Maybe if you're on the fence, then purchase the game. So I'm Euphorya. Go ahead and like the video if you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to see more from me, then go ahead and subscribe. And I'll see y'all in the space lanes.